Good morning, students. Today I am going to teach you Chapter 2 The Adventures of Toto from the textbook Moments. It is written by Ruskin Bond. Let me give you a brief description about the author. Ruskin Bond is a renowned Indian author of British descent. He lives with his adopted family in Missouri. He has been awarded with many prestigious awards like Sahitya Academy Award, Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan in the field of literature. He has written many stories and novels particularly for children. Before we move on to the story, let's discuss the background of the story. This is a humorous and adventurous story of a naughty monkey named Toto. The writer's grandfather bought this monkey from a Tonga driver. The whole story revolves around Toto's constant nuisance and how he gets into trouble with his adventures. And finally, he is sent back to the same place from where he came. The pranks played by Toto have been narrated in an interesting way and make the story a must read for us. Let's begin the story now. The narrator's grandfather was very much fond of animals and he bought this monkey from a Tonga driver for rupees 5 and named it Toto. First, when the grandfather saw Toto tied up to a feeding trough, he looked very ill. Feeding trough means a large container which is used for feeding animals so that he could not run away. And when the grandfather saw this little poor monkey, he wished to add him to the collection of animals which he had in his zoo at home. The narrator has also given an interesting description of Toto in the story. According to the narrator, Toto had bright, shiny eyes which were full of mischief. The eyebrows were deeply set on his face. His teeth were like pearls, and many ladies belonging to the Anglo-Indian community got scared when they saw his teeth which were displayed when he smiled. Anglo-Indian community is the group of people belonging to both India and Britain. Toto's hands were dry and wrinkled as if they had been dried up in the sun like pickled vegetables. He had a long tail, and the writer's grandfather thought that the tail added to the good looks of an animal. Toto's tail was like a third hand for him. It helped him hang from the branch of a tree to another branch. He also used it to lift the objects which were far from his reach. Here, scooping means lifting up. So we can say Toto's tail was not only useful for him but also it added to his beauty. The narrator's grandmother was against the grandfather's attitude of bringing new pets like birds and animals. She never liked it. So the grandfather thought that they would conceal or they would hide this fact from her until she was in a good mood. At that time they would disclose this to her. The narrator and his grandfather secured Toto in a little cupboard in the narrator's room. And in order to be sure that Toto did not escape, they tied him to a peg in the wall. Peg means hook. The narrator and his grandfather went to Toto after a few hours. But the sight was really very shocking. Why? Because Toto had torn the decorative wallpaper. Ornamental means decorative. And he had broken the hook and had escaped from his binding. Not only this, he tore the narrator's blazer into shreds, means thin pieces. They did not have any idea that how naughty that poor little monkey was. The narrator was surprised to see his grandfather's reaction. Instead of feeling bad, the grandfather was quite delighted to see Toto's adventure. He felt that Toto was very clever. He said that if they would have given him more time, he would have tied the thin pieces of the writer's torn blazer into a rope and would have escaped out of the window. That shows that grandfather was very happy with Toto's adventurous act. Now Toto was shifted to the servant quarter. He was put in a cage where he would live with other pets in grandfather's zoo. The zoo comprised of a tortoise, a pair of rabbits, a squirrel, and the narrator's pet goat. Toto was very mischievous. He did not let the animals sleep at night. He would always disturb them and would never let them live peacefully. The next day, the narrator's grandfather had to leave for Saharanpur to collect his pension, and he decided to take Toto along with him as He was unmanageable because grandfather knew that if he would leave him at home, then he might create a mess with other animals. The narrator was disappointed as he could not accompany his grandfather and Toto on that trip, but his grandfather narrated the happenings of the trip to him later. He had got a special bag for Toto, and it was made of a strong material, canvas. He placed some dry grass at the bottom of the bag, and on the trip the bag would be Toto's home as he would live in it. Here, abode word is used for home. That means the bag was Toto's abode. The bag had a zipper on top of it, and the narrator's grandfather ensured that when the bag was closed, Toto would not be able to escape out of it. Neither could he come out of the opening as it was closed with a zipper, nor could he bite the strong canvas material in order to run away. Still, Toto made unsuccessful attempts to come out of the bag. Due to this, many times the bag would roll on the floor or it would certainly jump in the air, and these movements were noticed by the people. Onlookers means people on the railway platform, and made them curious to know what was going on, what was inside the bag. Toto remained secured in grandfather's bag till Saharanpur. And on reaching Saharanpur railway station, the narrator's grandfather was taking out his ticket to cross the turnstile. Turnstile is the exit gate. You can look at the picture. At that time, Toto peeked out of the bag and smiled at the ticket collector. Such a naughty monkey was Toto. The ticket collector was astonished to see a monkey in grandfather's bag. He recovered quickly and asked grandfather to pay the ticket money for travelling with the dog, because the ticket collector classified him in the category of dog. Grandfather was unsuccessful in explaining to the ticket collector that Toto was actually a monkey and not a dog. He insisted that Toto was not even an animal with 4 feet. But the ticket collector was firm that Toto fell in the category of dogs, and grandfather had to pay 3 rupees for Toto's ticket. Here, vain means an unsuccessful attempt, and quadruped means an animal which has 4 feet. Grandfather was very disappointed with ticket collector's behavior, and in order to get his own back, this is an idiom which means to take revenge. So grandfather, in order to take revenge from the ticket collector, he took out his pet tortoise from his pocket. He asked him if he was supposed to pay a ticket for it too. The ticket collector took a close look at the tortoise and prodded it slightly with his forefinger. Prodded means pushed, and announced that grandfather was not required to buy a ticket for it, as it did not fall in the category of a dog. The narrator's grandmother finally came to know of Toto's presence in the house. In fact, she allotted him space in the stable along with the family donkey Nana. On the first night in the stable, grandfather visited Toto, and he was surprised to see Nana restless because Nana was pulling its rope in order to stay away from the heap of hay. Grandfather gave Nana a slap across her haunches. Haunches means back. And she jerked back, dragging Toto with her. He had fastened onto her long ears with his sharp little teeth. Toto and Nana never became friends. That means grandfather hit Nana on the back in order to stop it. But Nana jumped back with a jerk and Toto was dragged along with her. It shows that Toto and Nana could never adjust with each other and never became good friends. In the winter season, Toto enjoyed having a warm bath. What he would do? He would always pretend to be selfish, and before starting his bath, he would check the temperature of the water. He would copy the narrator and stepped into the tub 1 foot at a time. Finally, he would sit in the water with his face out of it. Then he would rub himself with soap, and when the water became cold, he would run out of it to stove in the kitchen in order to dry himself. He was so clever. Toto got annoyed if he was laughed upon. He would get hurt and then refuse to take bath. These were the tantrums of this little monkey. The narrator recollects an incident when Toto had almost boiled himself. What actually happened one day, in a large kettle, water was boiling on the stove, and Toto climbed up to the stove and removed the lid from it. He felt that the water was warm enough for him to take a bath. He entered the kettle with his head out of it, and when the water started boiling, it became hot for Toto. He thought of coming out of the kettle, but as the temperature outside was cold for him, he stayed in it. Toto kept jumping inside the kettle for a while, and it was when the narrator's grandmother arrived, she saw all that scene and she took Toto out of that kettle immediately. It shows that Toto was a kind of monkey who would always get himself into trouble and create nuisance. If there is a part in our brain that governs our ability to create mischief, then that part in Toto's brain was highly developed, as he had great capacity to do mischief. He was always busy in doing some or the other kind of mischief. Whenever the narrator's aunts passed him, he would always try to tear their dresses. This shows the level of his notorious nature. The narrator also talks about one such incident when Toto created a lot of mischief. At lunchtime, a dish of rice was placed on the dining table, and when the family reached to eat, they found Toto eating it. The narrator's grandmother screamed at Toto, and in response, he threw a plate at her. When the aunt tried to catch Toto, he threw a glass of water on her face. And when the grandfather arrived, Toto left the place through a window with the dish of rice along with him and remained out the entire afternoon. He sat on a branch of the jackfruit tree and he was busy in finishing up every grain of rice. As the grandmother had screamed at him, now he wanted to spite grandmother. Spite means he wanted to hurt her, he wanted to annoy her. And so after eating the rice, he threw the dish from the tree and chattered with delight, means chattered with joy. Now he was happy when it broke into several pieces. After that episode, finally grandfather realized that Toto was not suitable to be kept at home because Toto caused too much loss in the family. And grandfather realized that Toto was not a kind of pet to be kept in the house and they could not tolerate him anymore. They could not afford the frequent losses that he gave them. He tore clothes, he tore curtains, wallpapers, and broke dishes. At last, the grandfather found the Tonga driver and sold Toto back to him for rupees 3 and heaved a sigh of relief. This is the end of the story, The Adventures of Toto.